Excuse me, is anybody sitting here? Sorry, this seat's taken. Sorry.
Brandon, I just bought all my movie tickets for the entire week. I'm going to the movies every single day this week, if possible. Like I
Oh
did
my
buy
goodness.
tickets. I bought the new Hugh Jackman movie ticket for Monday for I can't remember the
Animal
sheep
Farm?
Animal Farm.
Sheep Detective, whatever it is.
Sheep Detective, I think that's what it is. Tuesday I bought It Is What It Is or God Is that
Okay,
movie.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then I bought In the Gray for Wednesday, and then of course for the Mandalorian I got Thursday, and then I might go back and rewatch something or whatever's. There's also another movie coming out, Passengers. We talked about it. It's a horror movie that I might go see it Friday. So I plan on being in the movies every single day this week. That's my goal.
Dude, that is a golden week. We'll see if you actually, go through with it.
Yeah,
You might get burned
yeah,
out.
yeah. You know what? I'm trying to get back to my roots and go back to the movies because like I've been just doing nothing but TV shows lately, dude. Like
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing. I'm not upset about it, but like this podcast is about movies, dude. Like, and I just love being in the movie theaters.
Would you rather go to the movies? Like, let's say you had to watch 4 movies. Is it easier for you to go, Monday through Thursday, or would you like to do, like, 2 double features?
I wouldn't mind doing double features. It's not like I'm doing too much on the weekends anyway. But I don't know. After a long day of work and you're just stressed out, it's just cool to sit in a movie theater. Just
Yeah,
forget about the whole
yeah.
fucking day.
Turn off everything.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. What about you? Would you prefer to go to during the week or the weekends?
Yeah, man, leave me at the theater, on the weekend, and I'm a happy guy. Like, it is obviously movie theater etiquette has kinda gone out the window, but the idea of not having to check my phone, like, everybody knows that, I'm kind of off the grid and I'm just enjoying something, like, give that to me.
Uh, Dude, there's nothing like it just doing like a movie date, like you said, not just a double V. I used to do like 3 or 4 movies in a day, and
Yeah.
like in little Cherville area, there's like a bunch of lunch spots. I'll do like 2 movies, go have lunch, go knock out another 2 movies afterwards. That's free will, baby. That's free
I've only
will.
done 4 movies in one day once, and that was pretty daunting, I'm not gonna lie. I can do 3. What's your max? 'Cause you've done 4 quite a
I've
few
done
times, right?
4 before. Now, like if 3 of them are like hour 45 minutes, that's perfect. I do not mind that at all. But give me like a movie that's 2.5 hours, and I got like another movie that's 2 hours 50 minutes. Like that's when I kind of like let's spread this out a little bit more.
Fair
Because
enough.
it's you're seating a lot. You're sitting down a lot. And like the Cherville AMC is so outdated. Like the most uncomfortable seats ever. So I can only sit there for so long anyway.
No, that's fair enough. Absolutely.
Brandon, we're gonna be doing 2 movies this week or this episode. We're gonna talk about Obsession, which I can't wait to talk about, and Henry Cavill, Jake Gyllenhaal's new movie In the Gray. Obsession was made by a YouTuber, like 27, 20, it was 26 when he made this. What were you doing at 26? Were you making a freaking movie?
I don't even think we were doing this podcast yet at 26. Absolutely not. And to see, the come up off of I know most people label
Curry
him
Baker.
YouTube, but I know him from TikTok. Like he has the most uncomfortable, like, TikToks almost in the vein of I think you should leave, like that awkwardness, that he's so comfortable in sitting in. So although I am not going to see this movie because hell no horror, I've been very excited to see the buzz and just the effort around it. Like it's good to see on everybody's end.
I went to go see this, and like you said, I knew this kid from just TikTok and Instagram Reels. Like he is a part of sketch comedy, but he does have a couple short films of horror underneath his belt too. So it's not like I think he's more similar to like the route of uh Key Key and Peele, Jordan Peele. Excuse me, I couldn't
Yeah.
think of it. I got there. More of the like where he does sketch comedy, but he does also peaked an interest in horror, and he's kind of combining those two, kind of similar to the, like Jordan Peele style a little bit. And he does talk about him a lot. It's I've been seeing a lot of interviews with him and, like, just to see his mind work, it's just his son such a young age, like, he just went out there and did it. Like, he didn't, like, wait for years for a studio to give him permission. Like, he did this whole thing. I have some fun facts about this. It was all done under $1 million and just seemed like a lot of behind the scenes stuff was very freaking cool. I can't wait we'll talk about that movie in a second. But you went to go see In the Gray. In the Gray. We'll talk about that at the end of the half, but, I have not seen anyone talking about this movie. It did come out this past weekend, and, I've only seen people talk about The Obsession. Like, do you
Yeah,
think it's worth the hype or
you'll hear, it in the breakdown, but unfortunately slash fortunately, this does fall into like, what a good streaming movie this is gonna make. Like it is 100% in that vein. But I'm glad I went to go see it in the theater, but I know that it will become more popular as it is more accessible.
is it better than War Machine that came out a couple months ago?
Ooh, yeah, for me, yeah.
Okay.
You know, I got
Okay.
mixed feelings about that movie.
Okay. Well, before we get into the movie reviews, we have a couple updates from Hollywood that's been going on the past couple of weeks, and then we just want to go get your opinion. And there's also a couple TV shows like we're talking about
Punisher.
The Punisher. Excuse me, the Punisher Disney Marvel television special. But first up, big news. We had a blast with this guy the past 2 years, but Conan O'Brien is coming back for the third time to host the Oscars next March. It's going to be a threequel, they're calling it. March 14th, 2027, Conan O'Brien coming back. I liked his first year. I really enjoyed his second year performance with his opening monologue and that whole chase scene with the weapons thing. That was
Yeah.
hilarious. I'm wondering how he's going to top it for next year. Like, are we going to see him floating in space with Rocky? You know, like what's he going to do, you know?
Hey, you know what? I'll give him all the credit in the world if he does go to space. You know, Katy Perry style. Like we got the resources,
Katy Perry.
and Conan is one to commit to the bit. Let's make it happen.
I'm excited for this. I love him. I love his TV show. I think he's great at it. With Stephen Colbert coming off air pretty soon, I think it would have been pretty tight to give it to him. But I can understand why they
Yeah,
didn't.
they definitely. I know. I think 2027 is the year that they announced that Mr. Beast is gonna be hosting.
Was that real? I thought that was a joke.
No, yeah, well, it's on YouTube, or maybe it's 2029. So I think when we've talked about it in the past, I kind of have wanted them to get someone maybe a little bit younger, maybe somebody up and coming, or at least more popular, just to get more eyes on it. But obviously we have a limited talent pool on. You know, it's a pretty big job to host. But I'm not upset about this. You know, if they're gonna again commit to the bit, stick with the thing that's worked the last 2 years, and it clearly is working for them, it makes sense to me.
I'm still gonna throw this out there. Like, dude, give me Coleman Domingo up there. Like, as soon as
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been thinking about that ever since I said that. Like, give me Coleman Domingo hosting the Oscars. I would love to see that.
Real's not ready for that quite yet, my man. He'll do too good, and then you're locked in. Then you're locked. Like, if anything, they may want to get someone like kind of terrible, you know, and then you get Coleman to bring us back on track. Like, you know, I would hate to go from Conan to Coleman.
Interesting. You need like
A
I
little
don't know who
buffer.
you. Yeah, I guess I see what you mean. Maybe a female host. We haven't had one of those in a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah, no, absolutely.
We got an update for Vision Quest. We got the official release date, October 14th. We're getting the Vision Quest on Disney Plus. I remember this movie this show when it first started into production. Then I heard nothing about it for months to the point where I almost forgot about it. And it's coming out 2 months before Avengers Doomsday. Are you excited about this? Are you a big fan of the Vision story? I love the WandaVision story.
Yeah, I loved WandaVision. This is one of those, like, right when I heard it, it didn't really make sense to me on why we were spending so much time on this. And obviously, you know, going before Endgame, it's weird that, like, this is, you know, one of the properties that's going to be like, okay, man, we're really committing to this. But I have learned to shut the hell up and enjoy what they're putting in front of me.
Yeah.
So, you know, same thing with Wonder Man. I was like, why would they be making this? And I was pleasantly surprised. And there's been a few TV shows along the way that have just absolutely taken me by surprise and that I've loved. So I trust the process at this point. And if it sucks, if it doesn't work, then nothing really changes for me. Like, so, you know, low
Yeah.
risk there.
I feel like this movie was way decided to be made like years ago because the WandaVision came out 2020 or what I think it was.
Yeah,
And
literally.
they did a lot of setup for a Vision story. Like, so I mean, this has been making for the years, and now they just have to commit to it. Otherwise, it'd be too awkward to ignore it if anything happened to him, you know. So I don't know, like just only because I say like that. I don't see anybody talking about it. I don't see anybody, even the actors, really too much promoting it.
Yeah.
Even like,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm like you said, I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to see if there's any cameos in there, or how it's gonna go along the MCU, and hopefully it'll lead right into Avengers Doomsday. Because like, if it starts mid-October, depending on how many episodes, it might lead up right to like the week of or the week before. Good time.
Yeah, it kind of screams 8 episodes to me. So yeah, you wouldn't be wrong. October through December, or they may release it all at once. So, you know, like they did Wonder Man. There's no rhyme or reason for the releases right now.
Third update, we got Camp Rock 3 releasing in August for Disney Plus. I read this and I didn't even know there was a Camp Rock 2, honestly. I was never a Camp Rock
What?
person. No, I was never a Camp Rock person. I don't think I've seen the first one fully through. I've seen
Rob,
clips of it.
whoa. I know you're going to the movies 4 times this week.
Yeah.
You got to prioritize Camp Rock, my friend. You got to get back in the zone.
I remember I wasn't huge on Demi Lovato when she was in Disney, honestly. I wasn't huge on her. But then, like,
This
I was
is
more of a
real.
High
This
School
is
Musical.
me.
I was more of a High School Musical guy in like back
Why are
then
you acting
versus
like it's a either or situation? We live in an and world, Rob.
I couldn't do it. So I
You
could
can
say it's safe to say you're tuning in for Camp Rock 3.
No, that's not what I said. I just know that the joy that Camp Rock, the first one, brought me, especially having the Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato in the same place. Listen, that was our original Infinity War. You know, that was the team up that really got us locked in. Camp Rock 2 is also pretty good. I can't think of a lot of songs from Camp Rock 2. And obviously this is, you know, so many years later that I'm off the boat, but I will not tolerate any original Camp Rock slander. This is a moment in time, Rob. If you know the history that they went through after this movie to get us this entertainment, it's phenomenal.
Okay, I'm really surprised they got. I think Demi and the Jonas Brothers are coming back for this one, so I'm kind of surprised.
Did you
about that.
see? Well, I don't even know. I'm asking you this. When they brought Demi Lovato out on stage after not working together for so long, and like she was like a surprise guest at one of their concerts, and they performed some Camp Rock.
No, but that does
Yeah,
sound awesome.
it was
That does sound very
phenomenal.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, like Bruno Mars is in town in Chicago this week. I'm surprised you didn't go see him.
Did see that. My friend's parents went. I was like, what's happening right now?
Yeah,
Go Bruno. You know, I think he is getting out of all that gambling debt from Vegas. So
I
he's
think he
coming back
just
alive.
announced at one of his concerts, like, I'm pleased to announce I'm debt free from Las Vegas. It was funny how he announced it. Yeah,
We'll
and
see
the
how
whole
long
place
this
went
lasts.
wild. That's what I was thinking. I was like, this is what this tour is really paying for, is just
Yeah.
gambling debts. And like that album, we're a movie podcast, not a music podcast. This one's very interesting. A new live action Fast and Furious TV show in the works for Peacock. Vin Diesel signed on to produce. They will just refuse to let this franchise die, Brandon. Now, I'm intrigued. I think it could work as a TV show, but bring it back to the roots. Give me like something simple plot line, like versus cops and robbers, versus like going to space in a car,
Brother, this is the world of possibilities, okay? Fast and Furious, everyone thinks, the good old days. Let me tell you what it is. It is a shut up, turn your brain off, and throw popcorn in your mouth franchise. And they have given us some of the wackiest moments, but they've also gotten us some badass car driving. Get you a franchise that can do both. The number one question is, what the hell is this TV show about? Like, is it following any of the characters, or is it something that just takes place in the universe?
The way Vin Diesel described it, I forgot the exact quote, but he made it sound like you're following some of the characters from the franchise. But I can also see him just introducing new characters and like maybe teasing a character, like mentioning, what happened in Tokyo, or what happened in Rome or whatever, that, like just, or maybe like, I don't know if it's going to take place in LA exactly or what, but I don't know. It's very early to say. Like, it probably won't come out till late next year, if anything. I don't even know if we have too many updates on the part 2 of the 10th movie.
Yeah, dude, that movie was supposed to come out so long ago. And the fact that they even called it like Fast X Part 2, like really just drives me crazy. Everything about how they went about it, it's that thing that happened where this movie, Spider-Verse, and I think there was one more, like all of them came out like in the same year, and they had a part 2 on its way, but got completely derailed due to all the things going on in Hollywood. And now we're all these years later and no update, like where do we stand?
And the
I
way
just
just
need
like
them
it
to
ended, like
wrap
it
it
was
up,
Vin
wrap it up.
Diesel standing on his car with a rush from the water from the dam rushing towards him, and it just cuts to black. I was like, you guys just left on the biggest cliffhanger. Like, I think they really wanted fans to step up and demand a movie. And I think that one of the biggest hold, like you said, that was from the strike and then COVID, or not COVID, but like strike, and then the writer strike and the actor strike, and just things shut down. But then I think it's like a big part of it is just budgeting. Like, they're asking for a lot of money this time.
Yeah, man. I think they cost one of them cost like over $300 million to make. Like the
Yeah.
ROI on these, like, although, and here's the thing that's like frustrating, this is a $1 billion after $1 billion franchise you got. Like, the movies do well, but if they cost, almost $1 billion to get your money back, then what are we doing here? So I
Which
think
makes me
that's
like
the issue.
curious, like how they're gonna do the show, because like the show's got to be expensive, and on top of that, it's streaming on Peacock, which is owned by Universal like Studios. Peacock is like the least. No streaming platform makes any money really, but like Peacock is the less successful out of all of them really. Like they want to lose the most money, which I'm surprised they're going to do that. Which makes me think like they're not going to put that much money into the show either.
Yeah, they were doing well, and then they, ended that WWE contract, which hurt them in a pretty big way. But no, I'm with you because honestly, the real big driver of a lot of the budgets going up is the contracts of the stars. When you get all these Hollywood elites in here, and you obviously have to pay them through the roof, like it's gonna inflate your budget. So what does that look like on a TV show? That's why I'm like, who are we following, right? Roman, Luda, like all of them cost an absurd amount. So if you're spending half your budget just to get them on the screen, then is it really worth it? Like, why not do something in that universe and maybe have a check in or so?
I'm just I don't know. I don't know what this. I'm kind of with this franchise, Brandon. I love it. I love the franchise. I'm not gonna hate on it anymore. But yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
gonna watch it. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna watch the show.
Let me ask you this $1 million question. What movie had you like, all right, put the fries in the bag? Like, what was your tap out movie for the Fast and Furious franchise?
After the first 5 were decent. The first 3 I liked a lot. The
Hmm.
5th one is like where they're in Rio. After that, then like it also like just happened when Paul Walker passed away too, and they just continued to make movies and like they just gave a sad excuse why it wasn't like in the past 2 movies. Just like, oh, we don't want to bother him no more. I was like, you guys are like freaking brothers. Like you guys have been through so much and like you don't want to bother him now. Get the fuck out.
Family
And now
now.
even if like I could accept that. Like, there's no way Paul Walker's character would sit like, yeah, I'm good on this one, guys. There's no way he would do that, you know? I don't know. I think that was a big part of it why I just gave up on them. But then like The Rock, I'm not a big fan of The Rock and that franchise.
Dude, he makes the dude, people can, crap on The Rock
He
all
was
they
good in
want.
he was good in the 5th one, on the Rio one, but I'll give you that one.
Yeah, he brings something. Genuinely, Hobbs and Shaw is a bad movie, and I like watching it now to make fun of it because I really struggle with that movie, and it's half an hour too long. But what The Rock is able to bring to a franchise, like they used to call him franchise Viagra. Like he can really bring that special sauce that not only inflates like the overall box office because he is a draw, but he brings like a certain power to it as well. I love his character Hobbs. It's obviously gone way too far now, but no, man, that's where I will stand The Rock.
Okay, okay. I'll give you that.
Bro, he flexed his cast off like for no reason. He's just out here doing living life.
He was in the hospital too, wasn't he? Like, they could have easily cut it
Yes,
off for
dude.
him.
Yeah, he took a grenade launcher to the freaking helicopter up there, talking about some busting everybody's candy asses. Like, come on, get peak Rock.
Then in the Hobbs and Shaw, you had that awesome line by Idris Elba, "I'm Black Superman." That was a pretty dope.
Yeah, but it's also the movie where he said genocide, schmenocide with the straight face.
Yeah.
I hate that movie so much. He's like, "Who are you? Bad guy, corny." But I eat it up, Rob. I absolutely eat it up.
Okay. I'm excited about this next one. A new Planet of the Apes movie is in the works, directed by Matt Shakman, who directed the Fantastic Four movie recently. It will be a
Okay.
continuation. It won't not actually. It will not be a continuation of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the trilogy. Now this is interesting because I remember when the last one came out. I was reading facts about it, and I think there was talks for it to be like 9 movies or something like that in total. Like, I think there's 3 or 4 of them right now. And with the idea of like time travel in the future, like where they're gonna come back and revisit the James Franco movie. And now like they're saying like this one's gonna come back and be an original standalone movie. I love the movies. I'm not complaining about that at all. But I just wonder what happened with the original details. Like if it's still gonna be a plan, or are we still gonna that's all that's been announced is the director and it's being made. Like there's nothing about the plots, who's gonna be in it. I'm excited for it though. I love these movies. What about your take?
Yeah, I didn't know about the want to go back in time, and like that kind of loses me. But I liked the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, like the newest installment. Well, I think I can agree with everybody that these movies are absolutely gorgeous. Like they are more well done than they have any right to be, and they do a really great job of making you care, even about new characters and tying everything back into the people that we love. A standalone also works for me because the world is so vast, so much has happened. Like especially with this last one, you can tell like there's obviously pockets, and it's like a religion for them of like who he was and what does that mean for us, and how do apes come together. Like there's a lot you can explore without it having to be so connected from A story to B story. But honestly, if we get more, I'm happy. So I'll take whatever that looks.
Cool, cool. Going back to Disney now, a third Hocus Pocus movie is in the works. The main witches are reprising their roles for a third time, and this one will actually be given a theatrical release. Now, Hocus Pocus 2 went straight to Disney Plus, and it did get great feedback. Like, a lot of people did enjoy this movie, myself included. I loved it, and I'm surprised they're putting the third one in theaters, which I can only imagine it's going to be a short run, just because I'm sure they would want it streaming as soon as possible for like Halloween time. I'm not mad about this news. Like, I don't like. Yeah, like they waited years for the second one to come out, and it was a big hit, bigger than they expected to. But now it just feels like a cash grab. Like people are wanting to see it versus like the quality of the story. So I don't know. I'm still gonna go see it. I'm excited for it. Last one was pretty charming. I liked it a lot. I thought I laughed a lot of handful of times. You big Hocus Pocus fan?
Not at all. But I do agree with you wholeheartedly. I think the second one was such a fan-driven effort. Like, everybody, like, had the nostalgia and they were asking for it. I think this one kinda is the studio being like, "Hey, y'all saw that? Let's go make some money." So,
Yeah.
good luck.
I also feel like this is your idea of horror, so I could see you seeing this one. This is the only kind of horror movies you're gonna
It's
see.
soft horror, like and I will be scared still the entire time.
And the last update I got for you, and I'm sure you've seen this, but we haven't talked about it. Matt Reeves released 2 teaser images to announce that they were working on the Batman Part 2, and they're both images of the Batmobile driving in the snow, confirming it will take place in wintertime, which has a lot of fans excited. They also did release a full cast too, but
Yeah.
potential villains. Harvey Dent is going to be in there, but they are not calling him the main villain in this. He's just played by Sebastian Stan. He's going to be in the movie. He might be a villain in there, but he's not the main villain. But some of the rumored villains will be Clayface, Hush, and Mr. Freeze, or the Court of Owls. A lot of people are hoping Mr. Freeze, just because does play Jason Winter. It does seem like something he would be setting in. And with Matt Reeves, they did talk about they want to keep it more grounded. So I kind of doubt you see any like Omega level villains in this kind of thing.
Yeah. Not having Darkseid fly out, on this one. I do want them to hold off on the Court of Owls.
Really?
Obviously, just because he's still fairly early in his Batman career. I kind of want him to go through a little bit. Same thing with Hush. Like, Hush came after he had success or some history with certain villains that really kept us all on the edge of our seats. I think that Mr. Freeze and Harvey Dent are kind of exactly who I would think would be in this. And like you said, Colin Farrell's returning. And if you watch the Penguin TV show, man, does that get me excited. So I think they have enough here for this one, at least.
Yeah. I think Hush, I think Matt Reeves did confirm out and say, like, it is someone, like, Batman is going to be a part of their history. So that's why a lot of people are thinking Hush, too. Like, like, Hush is, like, background story is, like, was it the long lost brother or something like that of him? Or that they just, I don't know. It could be interesting. I'm excited for it either way. I don't think we'll see that one until next October, I believe they're saying. So good for them. Robert Pattinson, I'm excited for him. I love his performance in the last one. I think Sebastian Stan, they're going to portray him as someone he grew up with too, like in high school. I think there might be either flashback or just references to them. I don't know.
What a good job for Sebastian Stan, like capitalizing on, his success. Like, obviously he's been around before the MCU, but he's been one of those people who's just been working after. Like, he's gotten Oscar nominations, Emmys, like, a true actor. And it's been cool to see him with all his success, but, switching brands, going from that and now a little bit more of a grittier vibe with Harvey Dent specifically. I was pretty excited.
I believe Scarlett Johansson is in this movie too, playing his wife.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, Brandon. Now, last episode we talked about, it was the season finale for Daredevil and how great we thought that show was, and it led directly into the Punisher Marvel TV television special, 1 hour only. It's only the one and done because it's going to lead directly into Spider-Man. Now, there's not really direction like he leaves and he sees Spider-Man in the sky. It's not like that. He's just still on his own journey. But it's the Punisher One Last Kill. Totally mistitled because I think someone did the math. He kills 100 people in this movie, in this special. It's a pretty big deal. John Bernthal came back and he wrote it. It's also directed by Ronaldo Marcus Green, who directed the Bob Marley movie, The One Love, King Richard. He also helped John Bernthal write this movie. I keep saying movie, but it's like a 1 hour TV special. This takes place after Daredevil season 1, but before and during Daredevil season 2, Daredevil Born Again season 2. I seen this. I enjoyed it. Now the people thinking, why do we need this? Why did we get this? It's not a season 3 or 4 of The Punisher. It's just the one thing. Like it's kind of weird timing because it's after Daredevil. It's right before Spider-Man. We know he's going to be in Spider-Man, and I spent a lot of time like why thinking he did this. Like why come out with this now and now wait like so this movie. I know you said you started watching it, but it portrays Frank Castle very mentally ill. Like he's hearing ghosts. He's hearing like his past. And all. He's going stuff crazy. Like to the point where he can't tell what reality is anymore. He can't tell if someone is really there with him or not. And then he has like a whole like like I don't know, while in the midst of killing people, he kind of finds himself like kind of like does like I am doing this for the right reason. Like I need to kill these people so they don't harm other people. And he just find that like to I think they did this now because it's gonna be the new Spider-Man one. So by the time you get to the Spider-Man movie, we're gonna see the full, almost comic book accurate version of the Punisher, like who just
Okay.
goes out gunsling. Versus like if he went there straight after Daredevil season one, you're gonna want to see his backstory. Like you're gonna want to hear like, oh, what about Karen though? Like what about his daughter and his feelings? No, I think we're just gonna see like a ruthless Punisher. Like and I think that's why they needed this bridge to get there. Other than that, it was very creative. It was very John Wick styled. A lot of the killings. There is a scene in there that everyone's bitching about. I don't know if you have gotten that far yet about the CGI of him falling off a building, and it does look completely fake. You could tell they just didn't finish editing it for some reason.
Jeez.
Other than that, the story was just okay. The story was okay. What really made for it was the killings. There was a point at the end where he saves a little girl, and in a restaurant, and he kills like probably 8 bodies around this little girl. And she goes up there and smiles and gives him like a flower and say thank you. I was like, you're like covered in blood right now. Like you're psycho. This little girl's maybe
Listen,
like 8 years
sometimes
old.
people are happy to be alive, Rob.
It's insane. It was insane. But he does get flashbacks from his kids and a couple other characters from this. I don't want to spoil too much for you, Brandon. But his daughter, like in a memory form, comes back and it's played by John Bernthal's real life daughter, Addie Bernthal, which is pretty cool. There was a couple John Wick nods. You said you seen the beginning. There's a scene with a dog and taken away and killed in front of the owner. That was a one nod to John Wick, and he does kill somebody with a ballpoint pen, like hey, how John Wick does with a pencil. On a scale of 1 to 10 on this Marvel television special, I'll probably get a 6 out of 10.
Oof, dang it.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It was definitely worth watching.
Okay. All right. Listen, we watch The Punisher. Like Punisher's never been truly story driven. Like it's more so about the badass kills and just his brutality. So as long as it's got that, I think I'll have a good time.
And I feel like they might have did this too because I feel like they're gonna nerf him a lot in the Spider-Man movie. Like we're not gonna see him
Yeah, you'll have to.
pulling people's guts out. Yeah, So like we just need to get people to fix what they need now. John Bernthals had a big couple weeks because he also came out with a special episode on The Bear. It's the Gary episode. We talked all last summer. I remember like how we were excited for the season 4 and season 5 is coming out this June. Same thing. It's kind of weird timing that they're dropping this now, especially because this has nothing to do with the story currently. This is a prequel. It's roughly 5 years before season 1. The cousin, his wife at the time, they're still in love and they were pregnant with their daughter. So all it is they're just like leaving Chicago to deliver like some parts to someone in Gary who needs them, and they're just driving through bullshit like friends do and play pickup game and basketball. They stop at a bar, and it's really just to emphasize their relationship because I'm sure that's going to be explored a little bit more in season 5, and they just want you to have that background of them. And it ends with something because like at the very like last 2 minutes, like it does flashback when he's this whole thing is to meant to you. Like the cousin, I can't remember his name, the Ebon's character. He's remembering all this, and you see him at the end, like, and it's gonna lead directly into season 5. What happens to him?
Okay.
I don't want to spoil too much, but it's
Yeah.
good. It's a feel good, and they're driving through Gary. There's real footage of actual things that driving here. Like, you might even recognize some of them, like some of the parks and stuff like that. It was really cool. This is a surprise standalone flashback episode it's only 1 hour, directed by Christopher Stoner, who directed other episodes of The Bear. She also directed Y2K and On the Count of 3, one of my favorite mental health movies. This movie is actually written by Ebon Moss-Bachrach and John Bernthal and Catherine Shettin. Excuse me if I'm saying that wrong. And I read this fun fact about them. Ebon and John have known each other for over 20 years. That's kind of insane. Like, and they've done several projects together. He was in The Punisher as well, and they had The Bear together. And who knows? We might see them come across in the MCU too, because now they're in the same universe. So I kind of doubt it. It's kind of a weird pairing.
Hey, but that's what Doomsday is all going to be about. Weird pairing. So that'd be a fun nod.
It was a fun little watch. It was actually just fun to get you prepared for season 5, even though like none of the main cat like Carmi or no, like they're not even mentioned in this movie. There's not even cooking. There's not even cooking. They're just literally bullshitting in the van for an hour, Brandon.
Listen,
It's pretty.
you got me on board. I'm excited. I'm
Okay.
excited.
I'm excited for season 5. I'm very excited for season. I think it's gonna end with a big bang.
Yeah, I do talk about a series that probably went one season too long. I'm excited for them to wrap it up. I want to get a little bit more from a few characters, but I just give me a nice bow on this.
I'm ready for Jeremy Allen White to do more, you know, like outside of this TV show. He had a couple of movies that came out that were great, and I want to see him expand his. I don't know. I want to see him in more stuff.
Filmography. Yeah, especially after that Bruce Springsteen movie. He needs
Yeah,
to get back on the horse.
yeah. All right, Brandon. Now let's get into these movies we went to go see. I went to go see the movie Obsession. We talked about it last week a little bit, and it's a big deal. Like I said, it was written by director and writer Curry Baker, who's a YouTube filmmaker. Movies like found footage horror films and dark sketch comedy. He's also a part of the comedy group That's a Bad Idea, which his other half of the comedy duo does appear in this movie. Premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival. The budget was under $1 million, and after it debuted in the film festival, it was quickly started a bidding war with it. Now, let me read what it's about real quick, because it was. I saw the trailer for this, and I knew it was going to be a success from the second I seen it. After breaking the mysterious One Wish Willow to win his crush's heart, a hopeless romantic finds himself getting exactly what he asked for, but soon discovers that some desires come at a dark, sinister price. Now, when you think of the story, a man wishes for his crush to like him. She becomes obsessed with them. Just that alone sounds like a very simple and obvious idea. Like,
Yeah.
why hasn't this been more done? But it's the way he tells the story, and there's so much more darkness to it than just a simple, like, oh, she won't leave me alone. Like, something does happen to this person. It's crazy how it unfolds. There is like dark comedy in this a little bit too. You do laugh a little bit, but just the way it was filmed with the colors and everything like that, and the significance of like the red in this color in this movie. Like, you only see red with this one character, Nikki, who's the crush in this one, and it's filmed. I read some of the director's notes. Like, it was filmed almost as if you're like POV of the stalker. Like, most of the camera shots are like through a window or through like someone's over someone's shoulder, almost like you're like when you view the main character. It's such an interesting story. I kind of wish you went to see. I'm watching this movie and I was like, I think Brandon can handle this. But then there's a couple of jump scares. Like, no, he's not going to do this. No. And it's not like necessarily jump scares as something pops out and scares you. It's just the tone changes very suddenly when the sound engineer, like, they do really great thing with like making you terrified just in your own seat. This movie opens up, like I said, with a guy, just kind of a dork a little bit. He works with this girl. He works with all his friends. It's two guys, early mid-20s, and these two girls, same age range. They all work in this video store, like electronic, like a cheap version of Best Buy, but it's actually ran by Andy Richter. He's the owner of that, which is pretty funny to see him in this movie. It was very random. He finally gets the courage. He wants to ask out this girl, but he gets too nervous, so he goes to, like, this magic shop that has like crystals and everything like that, one of those spiritual magical places, and he finds like this like little toy, almost like you break it, you make a wish, and it's supposed to become true. So you break it, and he wishes, I wish Nikki loves me more than anybody in the world. And it happens almost instantly. Now, the crazy thing is, Brandon, it starts off suddenly, like, okay, at first the relationship is good. They seem like they're very into each other, and everyone is suspicious. Like, all the friends, like, that's kind of weird how she's like very into you at first, especially because like the friends know like she wasn't really into him like that. And the people think he's taking advantage of her because maybe something happened to her. And so the friends are turned against him very quickly. And then she becomes obsessed with him, like, oh, he's going to work, but she's off days. She'll stand there at the doorway, smiling, not moving a muscle, just peeing all over herself and like spitting up a bunch of stuff, like just waiting for the day to come for him to come back. It gets crazy. This is spoilers, but like the movie opens up also with the main character. It's sad, but he walks in and he sees his cat got into some pills and it died. Well, she becomes so obsessed with them, she cooks the cat and feeds it to him for lunch without him knowing. It was insane. And
What?
yeah, so he freaks out and he's like, the twist in this whole thing, it's almost like it's a different person in love with him, because it almost is like a different person in love with them. He calls the hotline and like, hey, I need to undo this wish. And they're like, no, I'm sorry, you can't undo it, but you want to talk to her. He's like, what do you mean? Like, she's in the house, like he's in the driveway. So you want to talk to her? And it's just someone screaming, her screaming. So it's like someone under like a higher power or something like that has the real Nikki I don't even know how, like her soul maybe like on hold, like while this other one's taking over. And there's little slips of her that will come out. Like she'll realize like, why am I kissing you? You know, and then she'll go back into it. Like she slips in and out, which makes it terrifying. And the only way he could really get out of this wish is if he dies, then the spell is broken. He can't wish for another wish because it's a one and done for anybody. And it's hard to make somebody believe you. He asked his friend to make a wish for him, but then his friend doesn't believe him. Like, I wish for $1 million to see if he, and then like $1 million appears out of nowhere. And it just, there's a couple killings in this thing. But it's just really the idea of codependency kind of thing. Like, it's very interesting, Brandon, psychologically. And like I said, it's an obvious theme, but the way it was done, it's like a monkey paw thing. Like, you know, like you wish for something, but it ends up being sinister almost. And almost like, yeah. I think if you can power through like a movie night at home watching this, I think you could do it. It's not too scary.
10 a.m., all the lights on. maybe, but
I'm just really a fan of how it was filmed too. Like I said, like, I was really admiring the colors and the use of everything, like the lighting and the pacing. The pacing did slow down a little bit in the third act, but it did end pretty satisfying still.
Okay. No, I'm excited to continue to hear other people talk about it. I'm not watching it, but it looks like it's doing pretty well. Like everyone who has seen it is saying similar things to you. Like I think it has over a 90 critic and audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I think word of mouth is going to make this thing go way bigger than what they thought they were going to be because it's that good. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would legit probably get an 8 out of 10 for being like a horror movie too. Like this one, including myself, because I went with my dad to go see this one, had a lot of people whispering while the movie was playing, like whispering like, oh, this means this is going to happen. Which I'm not mad about that. It was very cool to see that reaction and engagement with the audience members because it had everybody locked in and paid attention, like trying to see what's going to happen. It was an awesome feeling. Yeah, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Now, I like how you're getting to the point where you go to the movies now and you're starting to Snapchat me pictures of the popcorn buckets.
I just knew you'd appreciate it. You know, yeah. I do actively think about you in those popcorn bucket moments.
Now, before we get into your movie, In the Gray, you mentioned last week you went to go see Top Gun again, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
How was that? How was that theater experience?
Phenomenal. I wish I would have had time to watch both of them. I did opt for Top Gun Maverick. I got my poster. And it was like it kind of happened organically. Like I was talking all this shit like, yeah, I'm obviously going to go see it. Yeah, I'm going to go see it. But what ended up happening was after I saw In the Gray, because it ended so early, like I didn't realize that it was a quick hour 30 plus movie. I had time and I'm walking out and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And I just walked in to the next showing of Top Gun Maverick. And man, I've officially, now it's the most times I've seen a movie in theaters. And It's still as good, dude. I watched that movie at home probably already, 10 times since it's been released. It's like kind of my go-to if my friends are on, we'll put it in the background and then end up stopping what we're doing to watch it because it's so great. But just being in the theater again, dude, I love that movie. And then watching when I was in line at the popcorn buckets, everybody was going to the original Top Gun movie because they did like a back-to-back, or like they kind of staggered them. So just hearing like all these 50 plus year olds, coming in, getting all excited, and the feedback from Twitter and on socials have been the same. Like, do this every year, do it once every 5 years. Like, these are the movies that belong in our theaters, Rob. Like, I honestly had a blast.
They do that. They do that like a lot of the times. Like I went to go see Back to the Future last year in the theater. Yeah, and I hate to tell you this, but like I haven't seen it since the theater, and it's only because like it was such an experience in the theater to see Top Gun Maverick, like the sound system, everything like that. Now I'm telling you this for this last month for my birthday, I did get a movie projector, like a big screen and the sound bar and everything. I think Top Gun Maverick is going to be my first movie I watch on this projector. I'm very excited for that.
Has to be. And listen, this is the movie that famously Steven Spielberg walked up to Tom Cruise and said, thank you for saving the movie industry. Okay. Like it brought everyone back to the theaters, and it was supposed to, the story of it, how it came out, Tom Cruise holding it and wanting to do, most, if not all of the stunts practically, and making all the actors, Glenn Powell, Miles Teller, all of them go to a stunt flight school and literally like watching them be in the plane. And more importantly, Paramount because of COVID wanting to release this shit on streaming, Rob. And Tom Cruise said, "Over my dead body." And we see how right he was with that $1.2 billion payback. Like everything about the movie just works.
Okay. I'm excited for it. I love how you love Tom Cruise so much. You know?
DC
So
legend,
cool.
bro.
All right. Now tell me about In the Gray. What was that experience like? What was that movie theater looking like?
Yeah, man. I'm a kind of a not packed at all. Like very few folks in the theater. But obviously this is the latest installment from Guy Ritchie. And I don't know how you feel about Guy Ritchie. He's just so hit or miss, but all of his movies are like one step above passable. Like, you know, all of them have like his style or something in it that either leaves you like, oh man, you know, like I never thought of something that way, or just like, hey, this is kind of badass. Even Wrath of Man with Jason Statham is like the one I remember just kind of being like such a random movie to make, but you know what? Hell yeah. And then, you know, we talked about it last time. Him and Jake Gyllenhaal in the Covenant was a pretty badass movie. Again, you know, nothing to write home about. You know, I'm not tearing down and screaming all over the place for people to go watch it, but I typically do enjoy it. And that's kind of how I feel about this. So this one, you know, short synopsis is just a covert team of elite operatives embarks on a mission to steal back $1 billion fortune from a ruthless tyrant. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal, Henry Cavill, and Isa Gonzalez, who's been popping up in pretty much everything. She's kind of got the new it person of Hollywood all the way back to I think she was, you know, Baby Driver, or just most recently in Mike, Nick and Nick and Alice, that weird one on Hulu. So happy to see her in the driver's seat. Like this movie really is about her, and everyone else is kind of supporting her effort to again get that $1 billion back. But Rob, I think when I told you that this is a streaming movie, it's because nothing significant happens in it. Like not to get into spoilers, like it's just like you get Henry Cavill and you get Jake Gyllenhaal, and you think on screen they're going to be doing all this badass stuff, and they do, but it kind of like they stay level the entire time. Like Jake Gyllenhaal is just this cool guy, Henry Cavill's just like, you know, suave, professional, but that's like it. You know, it's just like very one note, I guess. And the action is cool. The pacing's pretty fast. Again, it's an hour 38 minutes, so it flies by. And you will have a good time. I think my one real, you know, note about this, I get criticism, is one that I don't know if you've ever had with a movie, is this team of like elite operators is almost too capable. Like they get through every single challenge with little to no, like not even consequences, but like sweat. Like I was like, oh, how are they going to survive? Okay, they survived it. How are they going to? Okay, like that. Like it's almost just like that entire movie, and then it ends. But it is worth seeing.
It almost like I heard this grab by like many directors. Like what makes a good movie is cause and effect. You know, like you make one decision, it's going to make affect something different. And it doesn't sound like it seems like that in this kind of movie. And let's talk about Isa Gonzalez for a second. Like you meant, dude, she's been around for a while. Like at least since I started I started this podcast in 2022. She's been popping off in movies a lot, like at least 3 or 4 a year. And she's not really as talked about as much as I would like to be. But she's gorgeous. She's a great actress. I like her a lot, but it's hard for me to put her as an A+ actress yet.
Yeah, she's getting up there. She's getting like a pretty decent filmography. I can't say that I've watched something with her in it where I didn't like what she was doing. And this one, like she makes a little bit interesting choices, but just like you, like she's gorgeous. Like she, you know, and to have someone that, you know, attractive be a good actress as well, it's a good combination to have.
And she's paired up with Jake Gyllenhaal like this is like 3rd or 4th movie I think they did together. And how would Jake Gyllenhaal in this movie? Because I feel like it's been a while since we've seen him on the big screen.
Yeah, and he's good. He's Jake Gyllenhaal. But he you know what he reminds me of in this movie? In Roadhouse. You know how he has like this quiet strength to him, but he's just like there. It just kind of feels like he's just floating around set. And if someone provokes him, then he's like crazy. That's him this entire movie without really having a lot of time to show that he's crazy. He's just like her shadow. Like he's her personal bodyguard is like a version of how you can talk about his character. So when they're in the same room together, he's obviously like, something happens to her, I'm gonna get you. And then everyone like backs off. But that's like his entire character.
Hmm. And how
So
about
he's
Henry Cavill?
quippy. He's super quippy in like that Jake Gyllenhaal dry humor way, which I really appreciated, especially bouncing off of Henry Cavill. But again, I would say this is an extremely forgettable movie.
Interesting. And how was Henry Cavill? Because I feel like same thing. Like ever since Superman, like he just not say hits like misses every single time. It's just like forgettable stuff a lot lately.
Yeah, he hasn't really like hammered down. You know, he was in talks as one of the leading front runners to be the new James Bond, for example. Like, and you would think that because he has this gravitas towards him, again, putting him next to TC legend Tom Cruise himself in Mission Impossible, that's when he was like, all right, he's got a little charisma. He's got it. And this again, he's just suave. He's just that big brute. He does a few funny things, like he gets arrested as part of their plan. Like, and I like the way that he went about it, and he has like some comedic time into him. But again, it's not. They just don't have a lot to do. Like they're in the box of, hey, your security. So when it's time to fight, like we need you to fight, but outside of that, you're just kind of on standby, and that's pretty much the feel of it.
See, they seem very tamed in this kind of movie. Then
Very much so. Very much so.
what would you give 1 out of 10?
About a 6.5. Like, it was good, don't get me wrong. Like, I left the theater again. I was happy, but I felt like unfulfilled to the point where I went to go watch Maverick to feel something, Rob, and I absolutely did. But it was
Now,
okay. That's why I think like, go ahead.
One of our biggest things to complain about is too long, too short. It's an hour 38 minutes. Do you think it was too short?
No, that's the thing. Like, I actually enjoyed the pacing, and everything does happen like it's breakneck speed, so to speak. That being said, if they would have, I don't know what they could have stretched. Like, you talked about Obsession being like a very simple story that they expanded on. Like, the problem is in this movie is there's a billionaire out there who's hoarding some money. He owes it to this bank, and she's like a asset retriever. So she's like, we're gonna need that money, and like it's just how they go about that, and they use the time well. It's just that's it. That's all she wrote. Like, if this would have been any longer, I would have been pissed. Like, it kind of worked out for it to be that. But I do think when this hits streaming, the dudes on a Friday night drinking a few beverages, like, this will be the perfect movie to throw on. Like, there is enough of the action and like, man, that was badass, but there's just not a lot. Like, I remember The Gentleman came out, dude, and like everything about that movie worked for me, but it just didn't all work, and like it wasn't all connected well. But I remember, like, when I think of The Gentleman, I remember Matthew McConaughey, I remember the freezer scene, I remember a lot. Like, that's how I kind of feel about this. Like, the movie as a whole will be not memorable at all, but I might remember one or two sequences that are like, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Interesting. Okay, I'm still gonna watch it no matter what. Like,
Yeah, no, please do. Please do.
It's the star-studded cast. You can't go wrong with it. Now, Brandon, we're in the middle of blockbuster season. Like, we had
it's kicking off.
we had a great May. We're still going strong. There's one last big hurrah for the month of May. We're gonna be Mandalorian and Grogu coming out next week. I'm excited for
Yep.
that. We just talked. There's gonna be a couple of games for next week. We have a couple ideas for. We didn't talk about Euphoria this one, but I'm sure we'll talk about Euphoria for next week too, because I think I bitched and complained about the first 3 episodes. The plot's getting a little bit better now that we're going a little bit further.
Yeah, yeah. And you told me that because I think when we recorded last episode, I had not watched it and you had. And I was like, I don't know, man. I think I'm all right. I ended that episode. I said, damn it, they got me. I am indeed paying attention.
Yeah, and speaking of last episode, you watched the Netflix special for the Kevin Hart roast, and I had to watch it since, and you were talking about Shane Gillis. Like, yeah, he was pushing the line pretty close, but it was good. It was especially because he dogged on the girl Tiana Taylor.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it was a fun watch. It was 3 hours long. But it was fun. It was funny.
yeah. I think it needs to be like, we got Tom Brady. So, we got the sports, we got the entertainment. I think it's either should be like a music artist, or I'm just trying to think of big personalities. I think the world of music could go next, or like an actual actor. I can't call Kevin Hart quite that.
If you want to do, I think Usher could be funny. He was in this one a little bit. I think
Wow.
Usher could be a good one.
That would be a really good one. Maybe Snoop Dogg. I would appreciate a Snoop.
Yeah, the only reason he was in like the Tom Brady one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason why it could say. But it was also Kevin Hart was in that one too, so I don't know what I'm thinking.
Well, I'm thinking of like, obviously the connective tissue of someone who's been there before, but more importantly, someone who has a like history long enough that it's worth making fun of. Like, I don't need them to just go pick somebody random. Like, I want
Ice Cube could be
someone
good
who's
too.
like culturally relevant,
Yeah.
or like outside of that, well, and obviously, and really speaking on it, the theme seems to be goats, like of their era, I guess, in one way or another, like someone big that you can get like at the top of their game, where it is love at the end of the day, not just bagging
Yeah.
on somebody.
You think Beyonce then? Maybe that'd be tight.
Beyonce is never going up there. Hell no.
I know you're right.
No, absolutely not. Because what they gonna say about the queen, dog? Nah.
I don't even know what comedians
someone-
you would get for that.
Yeah, and that's the key too, right? They can't be too loved. Like that's why everybody. Who's the other girl? I'm blanking on her name. Not Tiana Taylor, who was in One Battle After Another.
Damn it, I know what you're talking about.
Blanking on her name.
Not Taylor. She's coming to the Scary Movie pretty soon.
Yeah.
Regina
Well,
Thorne?
anyway.
Regina Hall.
Yeah, Regina Hall. Like nobody messed with her. They left her alone because you don't get tore up if you start going after somebody.
I think that's mostly because her set sucked too. I didn't like her set. I fast forward through her a little bit, but I think it's mostly due because they did say she was added very last minute. I just think they didn't have any jokes written for her.
They knew that you don't touch her.
But she's standing with that stank face the entire time. I was like, damn.
She was warning them, go for it. See what happens. And everybody, they heeded the warning, Rob. So I think somebody like that, like maybe I don't know if this is it, but like Stephen Colbert coming off of his, career. That's what I'm kind of thinking of. Someone who's leaving the height of their game, so to speak, but that everyone knows enough, because it has to be somebody like, did you watch the roast of blank? And like, there's FOMO if you don't. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit! Like, what were they saying? So you had to get
very well
like
put. Very well put. You should be on the marketing team for Netflix, dude.
I would tell them to actually market their movies, so they wouldn't listen.
All right, Brandon. I'm excited for next week. I'm going to challenge you to a couple of things. We're going to do a couple of games. Let's see what's going. We got to get back on having guests in the month of June. So we'll look more into that. But thank you for everyone listening to Brandon. I challenge you, if you ever get the courage to go watch a horror movie, watch Obsession. Everyone should go watch Obsession. Support small directors. It's important. Thank you for everyone listening.
I'll buy a ticket.
Okay. Thank you for everyone listening. Stay tuned. Next week we'll be saving a seat.